Derrick Henry just turned 31, and everybody knows that's the age when running backs usually start to fall off. But the newest star of the Baltimore Ravens has finally put the question to rest. Is he thinking about retirement? His answer could completely change the way we look at the future of this team. Because this isn't just about whether he's hanging it up or not. This is about legacy, about chasing history, about how Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson together could turn this Ravens offense into an absolute nightmare for defenses across the NFL. And the way Henry spoke about it, it makes you feel like 2025 might be very different from anything we've seen before. Once a running back hits 30, the retirement questions always start flying. Derrick Henry knows that, but when he was asked about it, his answer couldn't have been more clear. He's not even close to done. In his own words, when the time comes, he'll know it. But right now, that time isn't even on the horizon. That kind of response shows how confident he is in his body and in his game. Henry understands that most backs can't keep producing at this age, but he doesn't see himself as most backs. And what makes it even more powerful is that it's not arrogance. It's just reality. He's still playing at an elite level, and that's why retirement isn't part of the conversation for him right now. And that matters. For the Ravens, it's basically a promise that they can keep building their offense around him. For the rest of the league, it's a warning. Derrick Henry is still one of the hardest players in football to stop. While many running backs his age are slowing down, fading into backup roles, or already out of the league, Henry is still carrying the spotlight. That kind of mindset doesn't just boost his own image. It lifts the entire locker room. When a leader like Henry says he's ready to keep fighting, it inspires everyone around him. It tells his teammates he's not just here to pad stats. He's here to compete and win. That's the kind of statement that changes the energy in a team, and it changes the way opponents see Baltimore too. And if Henry is just determined to keep going, then we got to ask, how exactly will he transform this Ravens offense alongside Lamar Jackson? Because this is about more than just longevity. This is about building a system that no defense wants to face. When the Ravens signed Derrick Henry, it wasn't just to add another name to the roster. It was to give Lamar Jackson a powerful partner in crime who could completely reshape the way this offense operates. The vision is simple. While Jackson stretches defenses with his speed and arm, Henry slams through them with pure power in the ground game. Together, they create a balance that's almost impossible to contain. What makes it so dangerous is how perfectly their styles complement each other. Defenses have to respect Jackson because he can torch them with his legs or with a deep strike. At the same time, Henry brings raw physicality and consistency, grinding out tough yards when they matter most. If a defense sells out to stop one, they open the door for the other, and that's the nightmare Baltimore wants to create. For the Ravens, this means something few other teams can offer: flexibility. They can go up-tempo and explosive, or they can slow the game down and pound away with Henry. That kind of versatility is a huge advantage, especially in playoff football, where controlling the pace often decides who moves on. Henry's presence also changes the psychological weight of every game. Defenders already dread chasing Lamar Jackson for 4 quarters. Now, they also have to tackle Derrick Henry, a 250-pound freight train, over and over again. That's the kind of pressure that wears defenses out and tilts big games in your favor. And that's exactly why Henry stands out, because usually running backs his age aren't asked to carry this kind of load. Which brings us to the next point, how he's defying everything we thought we knew about running backs in their 30s. History tells us the same story over and over. Once a running back hits 30, production falls off a cliff. But Derrick Henry? He tore that script to pieces. At 30, he was still a beast. At 31, he's proving he can still be the same dominant force he's always been. It's rare to see this kind of consistency, and it puts him in a very small, very special group in NFL history. Part of it comes down to his unique physical makeup. His size, strength, and conditioning have always been unmatched, and now that's paying off more than ever. While other backs deal with injuries or lose their burst, Henry is still bringing durability and power that command respect. Even the biggest skeptics have to admit this isn't normal. But it's not just about his body. Henry has gotten smarter with the game, too. He's learned how to read defenses, pick his moments, and use his experience to stay effective even if he loses a step. That mix of brains and brawn is giving him an edge over defenders who are often much younger. The result? Henry is redefining what it means to be a veteran running back in the NFL. He's proving you can still play at a high level when others have already been replaced. And in doing so, he's not just staying relevant. He's climbing the all-time leaderboards, which takes us straight to the next chapter of his journey, the chase for history. Because at this point, it's not only about surviving the grind. It's about rewriting the record books. With over 11,000 career rushing yards already in the books, Derrick Henry is closing in on legends. Tony Dorsett, Eric Dickerson, Marshall Faulk. Their names aren't far above his anymore. If Henry keeps producing at his current pace, he'll pass them sooner than most people expect. That would lock him into a spot among the greatest running backs to ever play the game. But this isn't just about numbers. Every yard Henry picks up now carries double meaning. It helps the Ravens win games, but also carves out his place in NFL history. Few players can balance team success with personal milestones the way Henry does, and that's exactly what keeps pushing him forward. The ripple effect across the league is massive, too. Watching a running back in his 30s still dominate at this level forces everyone, fans, analysts, front offices, to rethink what's possible at the position. He's showing that durability and dominance don't have to fade as quickly as people once believed. For Henry, though, it's not about proving anyone wrong. It's about chasing the goals he's set for himself. He's said it before. When it's time to hang it up, he'll know. Until then, every snap is another chance to write history. But here's the thing. His legacy isn't just about records. What really makes Henry special is how he leads, inspires, and changes the culture around him.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video. But before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
When people think of Derrick Henry, the highlights come first, the stiff arms, the breakaway runs, the monster stats. But what really stands out is the respect he's earned in locker rooms and across the league. He's not just a stat machine. He's a leader, the kind of guy teammates rally around. Henry's discipline is second to none. From the way he trains to the way he plays, he sets a standard that young players try to follow and veterans respect. His physical and mental toughness show everyone what it means to treat football like a craft. That leadership turns into confidence for the entire roster. Having Henry in the backfield gives Baltimore more than production. It gives them belief. It's like he's a living proof that the Ravens can line up against anyone and expect to win. And that's why his legacy will never be just about yards or touchdowns. It's about the culture he's created, the example he's set, and the way he's redefined what it means to be a running back at this level. But to understand how he became this kind of leader, you have to go back, all the way to Alabama, and then Tennessee, where the legend first started. Before he ever put on a Ravens jersey, Derrick Henry was already a household name. At Alabama, he was unstoppable. He won the Heisman Trophy in 2015, carried the Tide to a national championship, and showed the world he was ready for Sundays. With the Tennessee Titans, Henry became one of the most feared backs of his era. Defenses knew what was coming and still couldn't stop it. His peak came in 2020, when he rushed for over 2,000 yards in a single season, joining one of the rarest clubs in NFL history. That stretch in Nashville built his reputation as one of the most dominant runners the game has ever seen. It wasn't just about stats. It was the way he broke defenses, the way he left a mark on every game. He became the kind of player who changes the identity of a franchise. Now, in Baltimore, Henry isn't just bringing promise. He's bringing proven greatness. He arrives as a veteran who's been tested in the biggest moments, and that gives this Ravens team a whole new level of credibility. And that's what makes this next chapter so exciting. Henry isn't just a weapon for the Ravens. He's a symbol of their hope to finally take over the AFC. For years, the Ravens have been right there, competitive, dangerous, but unable to break through to the Super Bowl. Derrick Henry might be the missing piece. Paired with Lamar Jackson, he gives Baltimore the perfect balance of speed and power, making this offense more complete than ever. The expectation now is that Henry will be the difference maker in the biggest games. His ability to wear down defenses and control the clock could be the key against AFC powerhouses like the Chiefs or Bengals. He's not just production. He's belief, he's momentum, he's hope. What's fascinating is how his personal goals and the team's ambitions intersect. Fans see Henry as the X factor who can push the Ravens over the top. And inside the locker room, players know that having him means every single game is a real shot at greatness. That blend of personal legacy and team destiny is what makes Derrick Henry one of the most compelling stories in football heading into 2025. He's not just chasing yards. He's carrying the dreams of a city and the weight of an entire franchise. Derrick Henry has made one thing clear. He's not done yet. And that changes everything for the Ravens and maybe for the NFL. He's defying time, chasing legends, and still proving he can carry a team when it matters most. With Lamar Jackson beside him, this offense has balance, explosiveness, and leadership at the highest level. The question now is, could Henry be the missing piece that finally pushes Baltimore over the top in the AFC? We'll only get that answer on the field, but everything points to 2025 being one of the most defining seasons of his career. What's obvious is that Henry isn't just playing for stats. He's playing for legacy. He's playing to lift the Ravens to heights they've been chasing for years. And with that mindset, every single game this season feels like it could be part of something historic.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.